The concept of market share can be viewed as a connector between our own marketing strategy and forecasting financial statements into the future. Let's first discuss what market share actually means and why it's going to be important. If we are interested in getting into the coffee and snack shop industry, then we know that market will be dominated by big players such as Starbucks. But the key word to focus on is big. Just how much of this industry does Starbucks control? One of the easiest ways to find this information is actually free, the internet. This can be done through trade associations, professional market analysis, or even just Googling the phrase Starbucks market share. Whether we value the industry through dollars of sales or units sold, we can now conclude that almost 1 in 3 cups of coffee sold through coffee houses is Starbucks brand. That also means that everyone else that owns a coffee shop is fighting over the remaining 66% of the market. Llanera, Jim Morton's, and Sweets are other big names in this market and spend millions upon millions of dollars in advertising. As we continue to research all of the major players in the marketplace, we can also assume that our coffee shop is going after a very small percentage of the entire market. At the end of the day, we could be focused on gaining 1 to 2% of the market in our first year of operations. Instead of dealing in terms of percentages, we need to discuss what this means to our company in terms of dollars. What does 1 or 2% mean in terms of sales? Is it $20,000, $50,000, or somewhere in between? Let's back out to finding the dollar value of the entire coffee shop market. Through research, we can estimate the entire coffee shop industry to be worth about $10 billion in 2013. Keep in mind that is a nationwide number. In order to get a more specific number for our location, we have to estimate for our location. Again, we go back to research. We need to find the number of individuals living in Columbus, Ohio, versus the number of individuals living in the United States of America. The USA population in 2012 was roughly 313.9 million people, and the Columbus population was roughly 809,798. By dividing 809,798 by 313.9 million, we now know that roughly 0.002579% of the USA population lives in Columbus, Ohio. The next step is to apply this percentage to the dollar value of the entire coffee shop industry. 0.002579% of $10 billion means that the Columbus coffee shop industry is worth approximately $25,790,000. By the time we add up Starbucks' 1/3 market share, plus Llanera, Jim Morton's, and Sweets, and all of the other players, we are left with just a 1% market share of the entire Columbus coffee shop industry. Now don't get your hopes down just yet, because that 1% market share equates to $259,790 in first-year sales. This number allows us to create financial statements, allocate money towards marketing, operations, and hiring, and even begin the process of forecasting into future years. The key to getting these numbers is being able to find industry statistics or valuations. But what happens when we are unable to find information on industry statistics? Maybe it's an obscure market, outdated data, or you aren't interested in paying for detailed industry reports. We still have to conduct the necessary research, but in this case, we're going straight to the businesses inside our industry. The first suggestion would be to contact the large trade associations for your industry and simply ask for the data they collect. Even if they provide generalized numbers such as dollar sales per square foot or sales per employee, it will give you an idea on the industry standard. Second, perhaps the most trusted way to gather this information is to research similar businesses that lie outside your region. Conducting interviews with other business owners will provide you with quality information and even provide additional insight that trade associations don't deal with. Using either of these two routes will help you get a good starting point for what types of sales to expect when starting your business. The best case scenario would be to use both methods, analyzing total industry statistics and personal interviews in order to cross-reference the validity of each number. From this point on, you will now have a solid starting point for your financials and the ability to apply your marketing strategy in order to forecast growth in the future.